guys, welcome back to Spooky Witches UK. Before I get into today's video, please excuse the wet hair again. I apparently have a phobia of hair dryers because I never dry my hair. But yeah, before I get into today's video, I need you to go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. I'm trying to reach my goal of 100 subscribers, and when I do, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, a little competition on my Facebook page, and I'll be running the same one on Instagram. So it means you've got two chances to be entered, two chances to win. But yeah, so let's smash my goal. Anyway, today's video is going to be about none other than the Tower of London. I'm gonna move over slightly so again we can see the pictures when I put them here. So the tower was founded in 1067 to the 1070s. Different websites say different things, and it was founded by William the Conqueror. It served as a fortress, palace and prison, and it is haunted by many ghosts. But we're going to go a little bit about the history first, so then you know where these ghosts come from and why they're there. So the Tower of London was built because William the Conqueror, fresh from his victory, was still nervous about a rebellion. So he started to build the fortress so he could defend and proclaim his royal power. There had been nothing like it in England before. So he wanted the fortress to not only dominate the skyline, but to dominate the hearts and minds of the defeated Londoners. So masons arrived to build and had brought with them stone from France, and it took them around 20 years to build it, and most of the labour was completed by Englishmen. Now, throughout the course of history, the fortress has been expanded. Henry III, 1216 to 1272, and Edward I, 1272 to 1390. No, that's supposed to be 1307. Me and my typos. Added huge defensive walls with a series of smaller towers and enlarged the moat. They also transformed the tower into England's largest and strongest concentric castle, with one defensive ring inside the other, and inside the castle the kings had built magnificent royal lodgings. Now, the tower was used by kings and queens to protect themselves and their possessions in times of trouble. Arms and armours were made, tested and stored there until the 1800s. The tower also controlled the supply of the nation's money. All of the coins of the realm were made at the Tower Mint from the reign of Edward I until 1810. Kings and queens locked away their valuables here, and even today the Queen's jewels reside here, protected by a garrison of soldiers. Now, let's get into some of the darker history. So the tower is also the setting for royal stories of tragedy and death. During the War of the Roses, Henry VI was murdered here in 1471, and later the children of his rival Edward, I'm going to go the fourth. I'm not sure because I'm not great with Roman numerals. The princes and the princes in the tower, which were the children of Edward, vanished within its walls in 1483. Now, in 1674, two skeletons were unearthed within the tower. The bones were re-examined in 1993 and confirmed to be that of two boys aged around 12 and 10, which is exactly the same age as the princes when they vanished. Now, although this particular building has long since vanished, there was once a royal palace to the south of the White Tower. Henry VIII modernised the rooms inside in preparation for the coronation of his new bride, Anne Boleyn, in 1533. She and the king had feasted the night before and processed in triumph through the city of London to Westminster Abbey. Now, 3 years later, Anne was brought back to the Tower of London, accused accused of adultery and treason, and she was held in the same luxurious lodgings before being executed by sword on the Tower Green. Now, for over 800 years, men and women were sent to the Tower uncertain of their fate. Some had stayed only a few days, while others were there years. During the Tudor age, the Tower became the most important state prison in the country, and anyone who was thought to be a threat to national security came here. The future Elizabeth I, Sir Walter Raleigh, Guy Fawkes and Lady Jane Grey were all sent to the Tower. And we all know Guy Fawkes, he was the bloke who wanted to blow up Parliament. Wanted to blow up Parliament. So even in the 20th century, German spies were sent to the Tower of London and they were then shot at the Tower of London. Now, the chapel on site is known for being the burial ground of some of the Tower's most famous prisoners. Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard and Jane Grey. They were all executed within the Tower in the 16th century. However, in the 16th century. Henry VIII's wives were accused of adultery and treason, and Jane Grey was an unfortunate pawn in a plot to replace Mary I and was executed for high treason in 1554, and she was only 17 years old. Now, in 1867, the chapel was being restored, and the remains that had been unearthed in the chapel, including those of Anne Boleyn, were reburied beneath a marble pavement with their names and coat of arms engraved upon them. Now, obviously, with all this history, there's bound to be a few ghosts, and with the fact that the Tower's received a lot of visitors, there's no shortage of sightings. Now, some of these sightings aren't factual, but these are what people have reported seeing. So there have been reports of two shadowy figures, like of two little lost boys who were holding hands. These are quite a common sight within the White Tower, and so this leads people to believe that these spirits are those of the princes that vanished, Edward's sons. Now, the most famous ghost at the Tower of London is that of Anne Boleyn. She's apparently seen stalking the place of her execution. Now, some reports say she's headless. Other reports say that it's a full apparition. However, headless would make sense, because she was beheaded, I think. Yeah. Because it's divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. So she'd have been one of the first beheadings. Now, a spirit named Arabella Stuart is said to have starved to death under arrest for marrying without royal permission, and is still said to still frequent the Queen's house. And other than that, apparently they're the only real sightings. Again, the Tower of London is somewhere that I would really like to go. However, I don't think you can take cameras into the Tower of London. I don't even know if you can go into the Tower of London. Pretty sure you can. I'm not 100% sure on it though, so it'd have to be something I checked out. But I am going for a trip down to London with Amelia and Leanne once COVID's lockdown's been lifted and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I'll be visiting a few haunted places down there, but it's all whether or not I'll be able to. But yeah, and that is it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's brief history lesson, because let's be honest, that's what my channel's turned into apparently. It's brief history lessons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me so we can reach the goal. And remember, don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Until next time, stay spooky, witches!